सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारंभं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा. Namaste everyone. This is Dr. Pratibha Case, Head Department of Biotechnology at KLE Societies S. Lingappa College, Rajayanagar, Bengaluru. Today I'm before you to discuss Industrial Biotechnology Paper 8 Bangalore University question paper answers, okay, of May-June 2018. I welcome you all to the world of Industrial Biotechnology Paper 8. Here you can see this is the Bangalore University May-June 2018 question paper. Okay, this is a model paper. You can go through. Maximum marks 70. Section A, write short notes on the following. All the 5 questions you need to answer. This carries 10 marks. Section B, okay, answer any 4 of the following. You need to answer any 4 of the following. Okay, that carries 5 marks. Section C, answer any 3 of the following. You need to write all the 3 questions and answers. You will be getting 30 marks. Each question carries 10 marks. Okay, so while writing the answer, kindly important points or key points or relevant points kindly underline, and after each answer put double lines so that your presentation will be really good, and maintain neatness. And don't start at the bottom any fresh question or any new question. If you got this particular space empty, no, go to the next page instead of writing here. Okay, for example, I have written question number 1, here question number 2 and question 3. Don't start here when you have this much space at the bottom. Go to the next page and start, fresh page. Okay, and here you can see section D. You will be getting here from 10 particular 1 mark questions you are going to get. Okay, this is 1 mark question, 10 into 1, you will get 10 marks here. Hope you are making note of whatever I'm telling here. Okay, hope kindly make a note, otherwise you feel difficult later. Okay, simply because you are investing your valuable time for your future, so don't miss your valuable time. So focus on your valuable time. Okay, kindly make a note. Without notebook and pen, don't sit for this particular video. Okay, I trust you are making a note of this particular information, and in between whatever I'm giving information, if you want to refer any other notebook, you can visit your library or your college website library. You will get more information, or else whatever I'm giving question answers, no, you can go through that also. If you have any queries, you can ask your teacher also, or you can refer your library books. Okay, and now it's because of COVID-19 you can't visit the library, but you can through online library you can also visit. Okay, so now let us go through this 2018 paper. And while studying, and when you are getting ready for your examination, you must have burning desire. Definitely I'm going to crack this examination. Okay, and you should score very good marks when compared to your previous semester. So kindly have a burning desire. Okay, whatever you'll be doing, you must have burning desire. Now, and one more thing, while studying, please don't do all these things. Okay, otherwise you will lose your valuable time. After examination, anyway, you can sleep. Okay, now it's very examination time, no? So kindly focus on your examination. Pay attention. Now let us go through section A. It's a maximum mark 70. Okay, here write short notes on the following. The first question is baiting. Okay, that it carries 2 marks. They'll be given 5 questions. All the 5 questions you need to answer here. Okay, 5 into 2, 10. Okay, I'm not going to discuss in detail all the question answer. It takes too much time. Just I'll be reading here all the answers for that respective questions. Okay, with the how we are going to divide the marks for 2 marks, even that also discuss. Okay, baiting technique, definition 1 mark and description 1 mark. Baiting techniques, and this technique which is used for the isolation of Phytophthora species from soil and is effected through baits. Baits means trap or hook. Okay, to catch hold that particular whatever the organisms or whatever the insects you want to study, or any sample, you can go for this kind of baiting or trapping techniques. Okay, trapping or hook, we can use apples, green watermelon, etc. And these will be buried in soil sample for 4 to 5 days. Pythium species can be isolated from soil by burying mustard or corn seeds. Okay, burying rice kernels, that is straw, in soil helps in the isolation of Distilleria oryzae from soil. Water moles are often isolated on baits of killed insects floated on a sample of water. Okay, killed insects will be allowed to float on the water. Okay, then okay, when killed insects will be there, then automatically other molds also will generate over there and will be able to isolate. Okay, then keratinophilic bacteria are isolated by burying hair in soil as bait. So this is about the baiting technique. Okay, now the next one is question number 2, that is for 2 marks, upstream processing. Definition 1 mark and description 1 mark. So fermentation has 2 parts, that is upstream and downstream. The upstream process is defined as the entire process from early cell isolation and cultivation to cell banking and culture expansion of the cells until final harvest, that is termination of the culture and collection of the live cell batch. Upstream processing involves all the steps related to inoculum development, media development, improvement of inoculum by genetic engineering process, optimization of growth kinetics, so that product development can improve tremendously. If I'm going very quickly, you can take screenshot or you can pause the video, you can make a note, okay? But don't forget to make a note, otherwise you will lose your time. Next question, that is question number 3, product extraction. For this product extraction, definition 1 mark and description 1 mark. Okay, it is one of the industrial biotechnology steps. Involves 2 steps of removal of debris and isolation of product. Okay, removal of insolubles in the first step and involves the capture of the product as a solute in a particulate free liquid. For example, the separation of cells, cell debris or other particulate matter from fermentation broth containing an antibiotic. Typical operations to achieve are filtration, centrifugation, sedimentation, precipitation, flocculation, electroprecipitation, and gravity settling. Okay. Additional operations such as grinding, homogenization, or leaching required to remove products from solid sources such as plant and animal tissues are usually included in this group. Product isolation is the removal of these components whose properties vary considerably from that of the desired product. For most products, water is the chief impurity and isolation steps are designed to remove most of it, reducing the volume of material to be handled and concentrating the product. Solvent extraction, adsorption, ultrafiltration, and precipitation are some of the unit operations involved. Okay. Question number 4, biotransformation. Definition carries 1 mark, description 1 mark. Okay. Biotransformation, also called microbial transformation, is defined as the biological process of modifying an organic compound into a reversible product. It involves the use of chemically defined enzyme catalyzed reactions in the living cells. Further, biotransformation are generally preferred to chemical reactions because of substrate specificity, stereospecificity, and mixed reaction condition during pH, temperature, and pressure. Okay. Now the last question, that is question number 5, membrane reactor. Definition 1 mark, description 1 mark. Okay. A membrane reactor is a physical device that combines a chemical conversion separation process to add reactants or remove products of the reaction. Chemical reactors making use of membranes are usually referred to as membrane reactors. The membrane can be used for different tasks. For example, for separation, selective extraction of reactants, retention of the catalyst, distribution or dosing of a reactant. Catalyst support, that is often combined with distribution of reactants. Membrane reactors are an example for the combination of 2 unit operations in one particular step. For example, membrane filtration with the chemical reaction. Okay, hope you're not sleepy, and if you do all these things during your examination time, no, you will lose mark. So kindly focus, avoid this particular sleeping on your notebook or book or while studying. Okay, thank you. Next question, that is what are microbial polysaccharides and how are they processed? Okay, here section B, that is answer any 4 of the following. Okay, here you need to write about the production process. Okay, so definition 1 mark, or 1 mark, and one example 1 mark, and production outline and flow chart, it carries 3 marks. So 3 plus 1, 4, 4 plus 1, 5. So polysaccharides produced by microorganisms are called as microbial polysaccharides. The microorganisms can produce large amounts of polysaccharides in the presence of sulfur, carbons, okay, in the presence of surplus carbon source. Some of these polysaccharides, for example, glycogen, serve as storage compounds. The polysaccharides excreted by the cells referred to as expopolysaccharides are of commercial importance. The exopolysaccharides may be found in association with the cells or may remain in the medium. The microbial polysaccharides may be neutral. For example, dextran and scleroglucan are acidic, that is xanthantolin in nature. Okay, acidic polysaccharides possessing ionized groups such as carboxyl, which can function as polyelectrolytes, are commercially more important. Now let us go through production of microbial polysaccharides. The synthesis of polysaccharides favorably occurs in the excess supply of carbon substrate in the growth medium, while limiting nitrogen supply. A carbon or nitrogen ratio of around 10:1 is considered to be favorable for optimal polysaccharide synthesis. The production process is mostly carried out by batch culture fermentation. By manipulating the nutrient supply, differential synthesis of polysaccharides can be achieved. Okay, by limiting nitrogen supply in the medium, mostly neutral polysaccharides are produced. When metal ions are limited, acidic polysaccharides are mainly synthesized. Molecular oxygen supply of around 90% saturation is identical for good growth and polysaccharide synthesis. Okay, you can take screenshot, you can pause the video, kindly make a note of this particular questions, okay, and answers. Next question, number 7. Describe the types of baffles used in the fermenters. Definition 1 mark, function 1 mark, list the baffles with description carries 3 marks. Baffles are flow directing or obstructing vanes or panels used in some industrial process vessels or tanks, such as shell and tube heat exchangers, chemical reactions, and static mixers. Chemical reactors and static mixers. Baffles are an integral part of the shell and tube heat exchanger design. Now let us go through types of baffles. Longitudinal flow baffles used in two-pass shell. Impingement baffles used for protecting bundle when entrance velocity is high. Next, orifice baffles, single segmental, double segmental, support or blanking baffles. Okay, then de-resonating baffles or denaturing baffles used to reduce tube vibrations. The next question, number 8. Explain the uses of enzymes in leather processing industries. Answer. Explanation of any two enzymes used in leather processing industries, okay, carries 2.5 marks. So 2 points you need to mention. So 2.5 marks you are going to get for this 2.5, total 5 marks. The use of enzyme in leather industry with different specific constituents in leather makes it possible. Selective hydrolysis of the non-collagenous constituents of the skin. Dehairing is the single largest process in leather production, which requires huge amount of industrial enzymes like proteases, amylases, and lipases. Traditionally, tannins apply enzymes in the bait step to achieve deep cleaning of the hide. However, enzymes were also used in the hair removal process at the beginning of the last century before the development of chemical process for hair removal. These proteins are gaining more prominence because they are considered to be environmentally friendly technologies and because of advancements made in the purification, development, and improvement of enzymes. Enzymes are currently applied at various stages of leather processing from beam house operations until the final stages. The main enzymes that are of interest to the leather industry are as follows. Proteases, because they hydrolyze the protein fraction of dalmatine sulfate, making the collagen more accessible to water and reducing the attachment of the basal layer. In addition, they act in the removal of globular proteins. Lipases, which hydrolyze fats, oils, and greases present in the hypoderm. Keratinases, which hydrolyze the keratin of hair and epidermis and break down the disulfide bonds of this molecule. Okay, so that is about the question number 8. Explain uses of enzymes in leather processing industries. Okay. Now the next question, I'm giving you in brief, you can elaborate whatever you studied in your theory classes. Okay. Write a note on penicillin production. Okay, answer. What is penicillin? 1 mark. Brief description or outline or flow chart of penicillin production, 4 marks. So while answering, you must keep all these things in your mind. Then you need to answer all the questions. Okay, step by step. Penicillin is a secondary metabolite of certain species of Penicillium and is produced when growth of the fungus is inhibited by stress. It is not produced during active growth, right? Secondary metabolites. During the growth, what happens? Primary metabolites will produce, but once the growth has stopped, then we can see the production of secondary metabolites. It is produced by aerobic submerged fermentation. It is fermented in a batch culture, and fed batch process is normally used to prolong the stationary period and so increases production. Now let us go through brief outline of penicillin production. Okay, as follows. A medium of corn steep liquor, that is byproduct of starch manufacture. Yeast extract and other substrate added to the fermenter. After 40 hours, penicillin begins to be secreted by the fungus. The mold mycelium, that is cell matter, is filtered from the harvested product. Penicillin is extracted in the organic solvent. Okay, then butyl acetate in which it dissolves will be extracted. Potassium salts are added and penicillin precipitate is formed, and this is washed and dried. Okay. Now the next question, explain various methods involved in concentration of products in downstream processing. List any 5 methods. Okay. 1 mark to explain, and any 2 method involved in concentration of products in downstream processing carries 2 marks. Okay. Total here 4 marks. The filtrate that is free from suspended particles, that is cells or cell debris, etc., usually contains 80 to 98% of water. The desired product is very minor constitute. Here, the water has to be removed to achieve the product concentration. The commonly used techniques for concentrating biological products are evaporation, liquid-liquid extraction, membrane filtration, precipitation, and adsorption. The actual procedure adopted depends on the nature of the desired product, that is quality and quantity to be retained as far as possible, and also cost factor also matters. Okay, then that is third, answer any 3 of the following. Okay, here this carries 10 marks. Explain various sterilization techniques. Here for explanation of any 4 sterilization techniques, that is 2.5 into 4, 10 marks. The method of sterilization include heat methods, chemical sterilization, filtration methods. Heat method of sterilization, there you can focus on moist heat sterilizing methods, that is by boiling, or pasteurization by use of steam by using the autoclave or continuous steam. We can use keep that one under the heat methods. Okay, then under heat methods you can also recall here dry heat method. So all this moist heat and pasteurization and the steam which comes under the steam, okay, not the dry heat. Water moisture content will be there. The next one is dry heat methods, for example flaming, incineration, and use of this instrument heater oven, which comes under the heat methods of dry heat. Then radiation, ionic and non-ionic also which comes under the heat methods. Okay, next one is chemical methods of sterilization. Okay, and the chemical methods you can put this radiation, ionic methods, and non-ionic. Okay, chemical method sterilizations like alcohol, mercury chloride, sodium hypochlorite, formaldehyde, and gases. The last one is filtration methods, SIDS filter, candle filters, and HEPA filters. You can comment on all these things for the 10 marks. Hope you're making note and you're studying, and you should not supposed to do this in the examination. Okay, so better you study from the beginning. Give an give an account of strain improvement. It's not an and, this is give an account of strain improvement. Okay, answer. Description for two different methods. Okay, for each method this carries 5 marks. So role of plasmid and protoplast fusion you can focus. Protoplast fusion is one of the useful techniques for obtaining hybrids or recombinants or different microorganism strains. Various studies have been carried out by using protoplast fusion. What do you mean protoplast? Cell without the cell wall. Okay, protoplast fusion of Streptomyces, Saccharomyces, and fungi. Next one is, that is mutation. Screening after major subjection of parent strain to physical or chemical mutagen greatly increase the probability of finding improved strain. In that major mutations, it involves the selection of mutants with a pronounced change in a biochemical character of practical interest. Such variants are commonly used in genetic studies and are generally low mutants. Second, B, minor mutations, like it plays a dominant role in strains improvement. By definition, such mutation affects only the amount of product synthesized. Such variations are usually phenotypically similar to the parent with rapid and of abundant mycelial and conidal development. Okay, so given account of strain improvement, there you can focus about the role of plasmid and protoplast fusion and about the mutation. Further, related to mutation, okay, here we spoke about this particular mutation. Further, you can also go for this mutation concept for strain development. Strains selected as obvious variants after exposure to mutagens are usually inferior in their capacity for accumulation of antibiotic. Improvements are extremely few, and the selection and evaluation is extremely important. Okay, next, isolation of mutant classes and their use in microbial process. There you can focus on localized mutagenesis and computation. Other one is sexual and parasexual process. Localized mutagenesis affecting the small selected regions of the chromosomes. Okay, as the name suggests, localized mutation will be done here. And this localized mutation offers a promising new approach. Mutation programs can be directed to maximize mutations in any marked area on the chromosome, especially on the areas known to affect the formation of end products. Isolation of strains in unknown loci linked to the revertant site and can be done by heterokaryon method or by the use of temperature sensitive mutants. Second one, sexual and parasexual process. In fungi, the vegetative mycelium is haploid and can be propagated almost indefinitely by serial transfer of hyphal fragments and can also be propagated by asexual spores or conidal. Okay, by using the conidia. Two strains of opposite mating type, that is A or B, are required to initiate the sexual cycle and allow to mate by mixing the conidia of mating type A with mycelia on appropriate media. Okay, after a period of nuclear division and migration, fusion between A and B nuclei takes place. Okay, each fused nucleus, that is diploid, undergoes meiosis to form 4 haploids which divide mitotically into 8 nuclei contained in ascus. Okay, the next question here, that is 13th one, discuss the use of immobilized enzymes in upstream processing. Okay, here definition of immobilized enzymes, 1 mark. How are immobilized enzymes? Any two methods or that, and different enzymes used in upstream processing, 5 marks. Okay, so now let us go through different enzymes used in upstream processing which carries 5 marks. Immobilized enzyme systems are used where they offer cost advantages to users on the basis of total manufacturing costs. The plant size needed for continuous process is 2 orders of magnitude smaller than that required for batch process using free enzymes. The capital costs are therefore considerably smaller, and the plant may be prefabricated cheaply off-site. Immobilized enzymes offer greatly increased productivity of an enzyme weight basis and also often provide basis process advantages. Currently used immobilized enzyme process are given in the table. Okay, you can make out some of the most important industrial uses of immobilized enzymes. Okay, the immobilized enzymes, stream processing, how are we using different types, no, that I've discussed here. You can go through this one, take screenshot or pause the video and you can go through here and you can make out here the different enzymes. These are the set of different enzymes. So I mentioned here different enzymes used in upstream processing. Okay, this is the introduction part, and here you can make out the list of enzymes and their respective product, what we obtain through immobilized enzymes. The next question, describe the industrial production of citric acid. Okay, here for this citric acid production, I've given in detail the information. You can cut short and you can study. Okay, although citric acid is mostly produced from starch or sucrose based media using liquid fermentation, a variety of raw materials such as molasses, several starch materials and carbons have also been employed. Raw materials used for citric acid production can be grouped into 2 groups with a low ash content from which the cations could be removed by standard procedures. For example, cane or beet sugar, dextrose syrups, and crystallized dextrose. Other one, raw materials with a high ash content and high amounts of other non-sugar substances. Example, sugarcane and beet molasses, that is crude unfiltered starch hydrolysates. Several attempts have been made to produce citric acid using molasses, which is preferred due to cost and high sugar content, that is 40 to 55%. The composition of molasses depends on various factors. For example, the kind of beet and cane, methods of cultivation of crops, and fertilizers and pesticides applied during cultivation conditions of storage and handling. For example, transport, temperature variation matters, product procedures, etc. Both cane and beet molasses are suitable for citric acid production. However, molasses is preferred due to its lower content of trace metals. Generally, cane molasses contains calcium, magnesium, manganese, iron, and zinc, which have retarding effect on the synthesis of citric acid. Okay, then consequently some pre-treatment is required for the removal of or reduction of trace metals. Despite that, cane molasses possess difficulties in achieving good fermentation yields. Now let us go through liquid fermentation. Under that, liquid fermentation, submerged fermentation. The submerged fermentation, in short SMF, process is the commonly employed technique for the citric acid production. Several advantages such as high yields and productivity and lower labor costs are the main reasons for this. 2 types of fermenters, conventional stirred fermenters and tower fermenter, are employed. Although the latter is preferred due to the advantages it offers on price and operation. Preferentially, fermenter made of high grade steel and require provision of aeration system which can maintain a high dissolved oxygen level. Fermenters for citric acid production do not have to be built as pressure vessels, since the sterilization is performed by simply steaming without applying pressure. Cooling can be done by an external water film over the entire outside wall of the fermenter. In SMF, different kinds of media are employed, such as sugar and starch-based media. Okay, molasses and other raw materials demand pre-treatment, addition of nutrients, and sterilization. Inoculation is performed either by adding a suspension of spores or of pre-cultivated mycelia. When spores are used, a surfactant is added in order to disperse them in the medium. For pre-cultivated mycelia, an inoculum size of 10% of fresh medium is generally required. Normally, submerged fermentation is concluded in 5 to 10 days depending on the process conditions. It can be carried out in batch continuous or fed batch system, although the batch made more frequently used. Okay. Now let us go through surface fermentation. In the classical properties of citric acid manufacture, the culture solution is held in shallow trays. This capacity of 50 to 100 liters, and the fungus develops as a mycelial mat on the surface of the medium. The trays are made of high purity aluminium or special grade steel and are mounted one over another in stable racks. The fermentation chambers are provided with an effective air circulation in order to control temperature and humidity. Fermentation chambers are always in aseptic conditions, which might be conserved principally during the first 2 days when spores germinate. Okay. Frequent contamination are mainly caused by penicillium, other aspergilli, yeast, and lactic bacteria. Refined or crude sucrose, cane syrup, or beet molasses are generally used as sources of carbon. When applied molasses that will be diluted to 15 to 20% and is treated with hexacyanoferrate, that is in short HFC. Now let us go through solid state fermentation. That in short, SSF has been termed as an alternative method to produce citric acid from agro-industrial residues. Citric acid production by SSF, that by using the Koji process, was first developed in Japan and is as the simplest method for its production. SSF can be carried out using several raw materials. Okay. Generally, the substrate is moistened to about 70% moisture depending on the substrate absorption capacity. The initial pH is normally adjusted to 4.5 to 6.0, and the temperature of incubation can vary from 28 to 30 degrees Celsius. The most common organism is Aspergillus niger. Okay, Niger. However, there is also have been reports with yeast. One of the important advantages of the SSF process is that the presence of trace elements may not affect citric acid production so harmfully as it does in SMF. Consequently, substrate pretreatment is not required. Different types of fermentation such as conical flask or different types of fermenters such as conical flask, glass incubators, and trays, etc. have been used for citric acid fermentation in SSF. Earlier also, nowadays also, some people will be using. Few used air-made flask and glass columns for the production of citric acid from gelatinized cassava bagasse. Higher yields were obtained in flask without any aeration and very little sporulation was observed. The same yields were found in column reactors only with variable aeration. This showed greater perspective to use SSF process for citric acid production in simple tray type fermenters. Now let us go through here factors affecting citric acid production. Here we need to focus on medium and its components. Carbon source. Citric acid accumulation is strongly affected by the nature of the carbon source. The presence of easily metabolized carbohydrates has been found essential for good production of citric acid. Sucrose was the most favorable carbon source, followed by glucose, fructose, and galactose. Galactose contributed to a very low growth of fungi and did not favor citric acid accumulation. Other sources of carbon such as sorbose, ethanol, cellulose, mannitol, lactic, malic, and acetoglutamic acid allow a limited growth and low production starch. Okay, pentoses for xyloses and arabinosis, hospital, and pyruvic acid slow down growth through the production and production is minimal. Okay, as presented previously, several raw materials such as several raw materials that can be employed success for citric acid production. There are some critical factors, that is cost, need of pretreatment, which should be considered for substrate determination. One another aspect is presence of trace elements which can act as stimulants. Consequently, Sometimes it is necessary to conduct a pre-treatment, for example, pre-treatment of trace metals of molasses by potassium ferrocyanide. Now let us go to nitrogen source. Citric acid production is directly influenced by the nitrogen source. Physiologically, ammonium salts are preferred. For example, urea, ammonium sulfate, ammonium chloride, peptone, malt extract, etc. Nitrogen consumption leads to pH decreases, which is very important point in citric acid fermentation. However, it is necessary to maintain pH values in the first day of fermentation prior to a certain quantity biomass production. Urea has a tampon effect which use pH control. Okay, now let us go through your phosphorus source. Presence of phosphate in the medium has a great effect on the yield of citric acid. Potassium dihydrogen phosphate has been reported to the most suitable phosphorus source. Okay, phosphate is known to be essential for the growth and metabolism of Aspergillus niger. Low levels of phosphate favor citric acid production. However, the presence of excess of phosphate was shown to lead to the formation of certain sugar acids. A decrease in the fixation of carbon dioxide and the stimulation of growth can be seen. Phosphates acts at the level of enzyme activity and not the level of gene expression. Trace elements. Trace element nutrition is probably the main factor influencing the yield of citric acid. A number of divalent metals such as zinc, manganese, iron, copper, and magnesium have been found to affect citric acid production by Aspergillus niger. Lower alcohols, that is addition of lower alcohols enhances citric acid production from commercial glucose and other crude carbohydrate. Appropriate alcohols are methanol, ethanol, isopropanol, or methyl acetate. The optimal amount of methanol or ethanol depends upon the strain and the composition of the medium, generally optimum range being 1 to 3%. Next one is miscellaneous. Here some compounds which are inhibitors of metabolism such as calcium fluoride, sodium fluoride, and potassium fluoride have been found to accelerate the citric acid production, while potassium ferrocyanide has been found to decrease the yield. Okay, next process parameters, that is pH. The pH of a culture may change in response to microbial metabolic activities. The most obvious reason is the secretion of organic acids such as citric, acetic, or lactic acids, which will cause the pH to decrease. The changes in the pH kinetics depends highly also on the microorganism. Aeration. Aeration has been shown to have a determinant effect on citric acid fermentation. It is important to maintain the oxygen concentration above 25% saturation, and interruptions in oxygen supply may be quite harmful. High aeration rates lead to high amounts of foam, especially during the growth phase. Therefore, the addition of anti-foaming agents and the construction of mechanical defoamers are required to tackle this particular problem. Next, product recovery. The recovery of citric acid from liquid fermentation is generally accomplished by three basic procedures: precipitation, extraction, and adsorption or absorption, mainly using ion exchange resins. Okay, hope you got to know about the production of citric acid. I explained that in detail. If you want, you can cut short that one, or enter information also you can make a note. If you write, then that will be easy for you. The 15th question for 10 marks, write short notes on stir tank and airlift fermenter. Stir tank, that is the continuous stir tank reactor, in short CSTR, also known as VAT or back mix reactor. Stir tank reactor is a common model for a chemical reactor in chemical engineering. A CSTR often refers to a model used to estimate the key unit operation variables when using a continuous agitated tank reactor to reach a specified output. Air is added to the culture medium and pressure through a device called sparger. The sparger may be a ring with many holes or a tube with a single orifice. The sparger, along with impellers, that is agitators, enables better gas distribution system throughout the vessels. Advantages of stirred tank reactors includes efficient gas transfer to growing cells, good mixing of the contents, and flexible operating conditions, besides the commercial availability of the bioreactors. In your theory class, you have studied this stirred tank fermenter in detail, but as you need to write here only for the 5 marks, I'm going to cut short here. Okay, so still when they ask this particular question for 10 marks, means stirred tank you need to focus on 5 marks, and airlit fermenter you need to focus on 5 marks. And for this, diagram is important. Okay, hope you're making a note whatever I'm telling here. Okay, in brief, very easy writing diagram of stirred tank fermenter means you can write this particular diagram. It is very easy for you to write. Okay, you can go through this also. If you're good at writing this, but if you're good at writing, you can write all those points. Okay, and whatever in the class discussed in detail, no, go through all that regarding stirred tank fermenter or typical fermenter. Okay. Whereas here you can focus on this particular diagram also, this stirred tank fermenter, which will give you the entire information about the fermenter process, parameters, everything. Okay, so you can go, you can think here, you can also focus on here, this is the harvest or product recovery, and you can see here the steam inlet and cooling water in, cooling jacket, and impellers. Okay, these are impellers. In theory class you have this impellers, agitators, right, which is explained in detail. You can go through that one, anti-foaming agents, right, and about the sparger. And this is the viewing port. Okay, then this is the steam inlet, then sterile steel, this is the seal, this is the motor, then pH motor to run this particular agitator or impeller, pH controller or pH probe, acid base reservoir and pump, then filter, then exhaust, cooling water out, then baffles. Okay, this is the baffle. Then I can see there the culture broth. Okay, this is the culture broth. As this is used for aerobic fermenter, definitely you should use the broth system, not the solid system. Aerobic, in aerobic fermenter, you can see the stirrer, right? So that's why it's mentioned stirred tank fermenter. You can see this is the sparger. In my previous classes, you can go through in detail. I will explain this particular about the sparger. Okay, what is the sparger, everything, and different types of spargers. And here you can see this is the sterile air. A continuous flow a stirred tank reactor can be seen in this particular diagram. The form of parameters such as pH and concentration of specific metabolites are closely monitored to ensure the maintenance of optimum conditions here. Outlets allow for the collection of samples during fermentation as well as the collection of cells and medium at the conclusion of the reaction. Addition and collections are carried out under aseptic conditions. Okay, in my previous video I've explained this in detail. You can have a look. The medium of vessel is divided into two interconnected zones by means of a baffle or draft tube. Riser and downcomer can also be seen. There are two types, that is internal loop airlift bioreactors, a single container with the central draft tube that creates interior liquid circulation channels. They are simple in design with volume and circulation at a fixed rate of for fermentation. Hope you are getting this. This particular information I'm giving for airlift fermenter. Okay, external loop airlift bioreactor has an external loop so that the liquid circulates through separate independent channels. These bioreactors are more efficient in mixing the contents than bubble fermenter. So airlift fermenter are generally employed for aerobic processing technology. I missed here the airlift fermenter. Okay, up to here I have written about the stirred tank fermenter, and this comes under the airlift fermenter. Okay, this is the diagrammatic representation of airlift fermenter, which is very quite easy. You can write this one. Okay, so here there are two concepts you got over here, right? The first question is write a short note on stirred tank fermenter. Other one is the airlift fermenter. You can write this information. Okay, and along with this information for stirred tank fermenter, and this for the airlift fermenter and their respective diagrammatic representation. Now section D, that is answer the following in one word or a sentence. Okay, you'll get here the 10 questions. Each question carries 1 mark. What are polyesters? It is category of polymers that contain the ester functional group in their main chain. For example, polyethylene, then terephthalate, and polybutyrate. Expand SCP. SCP stands for single cell protein. What is whey? It is a byproduct of dairy industry, a good source of carbon for the production of alcohol. Okay, SCP, vitamin B12, lactic acid, and gibberellic acid. Examples. Define coagulation. Coagulation is a chemical process that involves neutralization of charge used for clarification of sewage water. Okay, blood clots occur due to this particular process, coagulation. Name a steroid product produced by biotransformation. Cortisone, cortisol, prednisolone, then okay, some so repetition has happened here. Prednisone. Next one is stigmasterol, then diastereogenin, and other diastereogenin. Other have missed over here. You can keep any two examples in your mind. You can keep in your mind cortisone and cortisol will be enough. What is a fermenter? A fermenter is a bioreactor. Okay. Okay, before this, here you can make out prednisolone, and this is prednisolone. This is prednisolone, and this is the prednisone. Okay, you can write this particular information. Okay, or you can also write about this diastereogenin. You can also write. Now, next one is what is a fermenter? A fermenter is a bioreactor and is a closed vessel with adequate arrangement for aeration, agitation, temperature, and pH control, and overflow vent to remove the waste biomass of cultured microorganisms along with the products. Whenever you will be asked, no, briefly explain stir tank fermenter, airlift fermenter, and any other fermenter, you can give this particular definition of the fermenter. You can start different types. How is foam controlled in a fermenter? Foam is typically controlled with aid of anti-foaming agents based on silicone or on vegetable oils. Commonly used agents are insoluble oils, are polydimethyl and other silicones, certain alcohols, and the stearates and glycols. Okay, glycols, you can write any one or two examples, more than enough. Name a microbial polysaccharide. Xanthan gum or xanthan, dextran, alginate, gland, cardin, and scleroglucan, you can also write. And what is malting of beer? Germinating barley grain for production of barley in a okay, sorry. What is malting of beer here? Germinating barley grain for production of beer in a process known as malting. Germination process is associated with the formation of enzymes, amylases and proteases. The last question here, name any two enzymes used in food industry. Example, protease, lipase, peptide, or any other examples. If you know whatever you studied in your theory class, you can mention that also. Hope you'll focus on all these questions. If you just listen, I think that won't be effective. Better, whatever the slide have given, no, kindly make a note, and that will be useful for you. Okay, in between, because of pause, you may got some disturbance in the video, but you can go through the slide, you can make out clearly. Okay, audio might be a problem, but when you go through the slide, that will be very clear. Hope you're happy. Best of luck, stay blessed, do well in your examination. You be the gift to the world. Instead of expecting a gift from others, let us, we be the gift to the world. Thank you. Hope you understood today's concept. I, Dr. Pratibha K, signing off for today. Stay tuned with me. I'll be back with some more videos. And kindly, if possible, subscribe my channel, and whoever are in need this part of this particular information, kindly send to them. Thank you.